Welcome you all to Fluid Power System Module 2. This is Lecture 3. Disclaimer. This PPT has been prepared by referring many sources which includes figures, diagrams from internet as well as from prescribed text and reference books. I do not claim any originality in preparing this video or PPT. This PPT or video is exclusively for the purpose of education and not for any financial gains. I wholeheartedly thank all those who have directly or indirectly contributed to do this PPT or video. Piston pumps. A piston pump works on the principle that reciprocating action of the piston in a cylinder bore or a cylinder block. See, there are two operations happen in the cylinder or piston pumps. First one is when piston extends, the fluid is drawn inside the bore. This stroke is called suction stroke or extension stroke or forward stroke or outward stroke. Okay. And second operation, when piston retracts, the fluid is expelled from it. Means the fluid is moved out of the cylinder bore. This stroke is called compression stroke or retraction stroke or inward stroke. Okay. So several names are there for the strokes. Now we'll go for to study these two strokes by using a diagram. Look at these diagrams. You come to know. See, first one is suction stroke, second is compression stroke. I will go for construction. See this block border line. This is the cylinder block, and there is a two ports or two valves, one for inlet and one for outlet. This is piston rod. This arrow mark indicates the piston moving outward. Here the same construction, direction is the piston is moving inward. Now I will go for first stroke. See, when piston extends means the piston is moving outward, so it drags the liquid into its chamber, that is nothing but a cylinder bore. As liquid fills, the piston travels outward, inlet valve opens, outlet valve closed. Because of prime mover movement, the piston is moving outward. Then piston pushes inward. Look at this, that is compression stroke or retraction stroke. When the piston gets compressed, the liquid pressure gets raised to the higher level. So inlet valve is closed, outlet valve is opened, and the pressurized liquid will move out through outlet valve during retraction stroke. These are the two strokes of suction and compression, extension and retraction. We'll see one more diagram. See, look at this. This is also the construction of piston pump. There is a inlet. Inlet means charge is entered, pressurized in this chamber, and pressurized fluid will move out through this chamber, this valve. So charge enters and discharge. Charge nothing but a liquid. Okay. See, as liquid enters through inlet valve, the piston moves away or outward, and because of prime mover, the piston compresses the liquid. So liquid gets increases the pressure level, pressurized liquid will move out through this valve. This is outlet valve, and pressurized liquid will move out through outlet valve to the rest of the hydraulic system. Now see the operation, how the extension stroke and retraction stroke will happen in piston through one small working animation. See, look at this. There is a inlet valve, outlet valve. The piston is moving inward and outward. When sky blue color liquid indicates, that is a low pressure liquid, and yellow liquid indicates pressurized liquid. Inlet is a low pressure, outlet is high pressure. Okay. And one more animation. Here you can see prime mover or IC engine is provided to get the movement of piston. See, look at this, the piston movement and valves opening and closing. This white colored is valve, inlet valve here, outlet valve here. Next is classification of piston pumps. Okay. Piston pumps are broadly classified into two types: axial piston pump and radial piston pump. See, in first case, the axial piston pump are in the axial design. It has a number of pistons. It has number of pistons that are arranged parallel to the axis. Of the cylinder block. Okay. Axis pistons or axial piston pumps can be either bent axis configuration or inline configuration. Configuration means the axial piston pumps again classified into two types. One is bent axis piston pump and second is inline piston pump. And second main classification, that is radial piston pump. In this case, the pistons are arranged radially in a cylinder block. Hence the name radial piston pump. Now we'll go to study in detail about axial piston pump. Okay. See, in axial piston pump, as I told, there are two type of designs. One is bent axis type piston pump. Second is inline or swash plate type piston pump. These are the two classifications comes under axial piston pumps. Bent axis type piston pump, it is a type of one of the types of axial type piston pump. Here this is the construction of a bent axis type piston pump. It is mainly consists of cylinder block. See, cylinder block. This cylinder block, this hatched one, cylinder block, it is a rotating part and it is connected to drive shaft. See, this entire cylinder block is connected with this drive shaft. Okay. See here, the center line of this cylinder block, is set to at an offset angle, some offset angle relative to the center line of the drive shaft. The center line of the cylinder block is set at an offset angle relative to this center line of the drive shaft. And this cylinder block contains number of pistons arranged along a circular manner. The piston rods are connected to this drive shaft flange by ball and socket joints. These pistons are forced in and out of their bores as the distance between the drive shaft flange and cylinder block changes. Okay. And a universal link connects the cylinder block and the drive shaft See, universal link, universal joint to provide alignment and positive drive. The universal link connects. Okay, universal link is used. And see, as I told, there is some offset angle between center line of the drive shaft and center line of the cylinder block. See, look at this diagram, you come to know this theta is nothing but a offset angle. See, look at here, the center line of the drive shaft and center line of the cylinder block. So it is theta. The theta is nothing but a offset angle. It mainly varies from 0 degree to 30 degree. 0 degree to 30 degree, and inlet and outlet stroke happens as the distance changes between the cylinder block and this drive flange. Okay, and see, offset angle here is maximum, that is the maximum stroke. As theta coming reduction, so the stroke distance is also comes reducing. When there is no theta, so there is no any angle, so no stroke happens. When theta is maximum angle, that is maximum piston stroke. When theta is reducing, there is a less angle, reduction in stroke. When theta is 0, there is no any angle, so no stroke. This is the working of piston, bent axis type piston pump. Look at this small working animation of bent axis piston pump. Here, when the prime mover rotates, means the drive shaft rotates, the moving cylinder block also rotates through universal joint drives. Piston placed in the control axis of the moving cylinder block moves to and fro, thus connecting the suction and delivery ports alternatively. The working is similar to a reciprocating pump. The volumetric displacement of this pump mainly depends on offset angle, that is theta. Okay, theta mainly varies from 0 degree to a maximum of about 30 degree. For fixed displacement units are usually provided with 23 degree or 30 degree offset angles. Swash plate type piston pump or inline type piston pump. It is another type of axial type piston pump. The construction of swash plate or inline piston pump is like this. See, in this type, the cylinder block and driver shaft are located on the same center line. See, the cylinder block and driver center line are located on the same same center line. Okay, and the pistons are connected to shoe plate. These pistons, these white colored pistons, are connected to shoe plate, and the shoe plates are connected to angled swash plate. This is angled swash plate. Okay, this is the regarding construction. We'll see one more diagram. See here, this is the driver shaft, and the entire cylinder center line is same. Okay, here suction port and discharge port. There is a one shoe plate. Shoe plate is connected to angled swash plate. You can see here. Yeah, this yellow colored is shoe plate. This shoe plate is connected to this angled swash plate. This is drive line, and this dark blue colored is cylinder block. Okay, the center line of this cylinder block and the center line of this driver shaft both are same or on same line. Okay, we'll go for operation. See, as cylinder rotates, as cylinder rotates. The pistons reciprocate because the piston shoes follow the angled surface of the swash plate. As cylinder rotates, piston starts reciprocating according to the swash plate rotation. Okay. The output and input ports are located in the valve plate. See here the input and output on valve plate. When the piston is passed towards inlet, suction stroke happens. Or suction stroke takes place. When piston passes to the outlet, the delivery stroke takes place. The working is similar to a reciprocating type of pumps. Okay, this type of pump can also be designed to have variable displacement capacity. Okay, the variation of displacement volume for various angles of swash plate angle, this one as shown in the figure, and the operation you can see by this small animation. Okay, see swash plate here is fixed, the cylinder is rotating according to the distance of the piston and the swash plate. The inlet and outlet is happening. Okay. This is the construction and working of swash plate type or inline type piston pump. Radial piston pump. We'll see the construction of radial pump and working animation of radial pump. See, first go for construction. See, in radial pump has a number of pistons arranged radially in a cylinder block. See, look at this. The all pistons are arranged in a radial manner. Okay. Hence, it is called a radial piston pump. Okay. And radial piston pumps are available in two basic types. They are radial piston pump with stationary cylinder block, radial piston pump with rotating cylinder block. See, look at here, this is the outer ring. This outer ring has input and output, and inside the one more that circular part, there is a what we call cylinder block. Okay, see here cylinder block and this outer ring, cylinder block and outer ring are placed eccentrically. See this circle, this midpoint of the cylinder block and midpoint of the outer ring, it is placed like a eccentricity. Okay, and the pistons are thrown out by a centrifugal force and pushed back because of the eccentricity between rotor ring and cylinder block. Okay, see, as I told, there are two types of radial piston pumps. In first case, in stationary cylinder block radial piston pump, the cylinder block is kept stationary and reciprocating motion is imparted to the pistons by the rotating cam, and the outer cover is connected to the inlet and discharge through the check valve. Okay. Inlet and outlet, this is casing, outer ring and inner rotor. And second case, in rotating cylinder block a radial piston pump, the cylinder block is connected to driving shaft. The outer ring may be either fixed or rotating with the cylinder block along with cylinder. The pistons confined by thrust ring reciprocates into the slots provided in the cylinder block, causing pumping action. See, as the rotor rotates, because of centrifugal force, the pistons are moved in and out and sucks the liquid, pushes the liquid. When inlet comes, when the piston comes, suction. When same piston goes to outlet side, the delivery happens. Suction and delivery is happens like this. And this is the one working animation. Look at this. This cam is rotating. Because of cam rotation, the pistons are moving in and out. So inlet and outlet happens. Next, go for expression for the theoretical discharge of piston pumps. Here theta offset angle, d piston circle diameter in meter, s piston stroke in meter, that is d tan theta, y number of pistons, a piston area in meter square, n piston speed in rpm, Vd volumetric displacement of pump, that is YAD tan theta in meter cube per revolution, QTH theoretical flow rate of the pump, that is DANY tan theta meter cube per minute. Take one numerical based on piston pump. Find the theoretical flow rate and that find the theoretical flow rate that an axial piston pump delivers at 1000 rpm. The pump has 9 15 mm diameter pistons arranged on a 125 mm diameter piston circle. The offset angle is set at 10 degree. So find out theoretical flow rate QTH. First write down the data given in the numerical. N speed 1000 rpm, small d diameter 15 millimeter, convert millimeter into meter 0.015 meter, y the number of pistons. Here pump has 9 pistons, y equal to 9, d diameter piston circle diameter 125 millimeter converted into meter, that is 0.125 meter, and area pi d square by 4, we will get 0.0122 meter square. Then theta is 10 degree. Now we will go for theoretical flow rate of the pump, DANY tan theta. D is capital D 0.125 into A 0.0122 into N speed, that is 1000, and tan theta is 10 degree. Simplify this and the final answer is the theoretical flow rate of this given pump is 0.03505 meter cube per minute. Advantages of piston pumps. Piston pumps operate at very high pressures. A wide variety of fluid can be pumped. Variable delivery is possible. They are self-priming and operation is quiet. They have a longer life. And in case of disadvantages, piston pumps are heavy and bulky. Piston pumps are have pulsating discharge. These pumps are expensive and these pumps cannot be operated against a closed discharge. Piston pumps requires relief valves. These pumps are having many moving parts.